Right, quiet on set, and that goes for you too, Satnav. So we are driving to Farm Fit, me and Weasel and Maggie. We knew that we were going to be in the car for like an hour because this Farm Fit is in the middle of Essex. We knew CJ was going to be along, so we thought, why not do a little video to kill some time. We put a wee post up on Instagram, and these are the questions that you've asked me and Sophie.
So first question, Elle Hinton asks, what nicknames do you have for each other?
Oh, nicknames. Go on then, Sophie, fire away. You have to pick one.
Sean calls me the Weasel.
Weasel.
Because in his head he thought that was like a cute little farm animal. Turns out Weasel's probably one of the ugliest creatures out there.
It's not true.
Bottom, that was my nickname for a while.
Why is that?
Because you like my bottom.
Correct.
I think.
Correct.
I don't actually know, I've never bothered asking.
Correct.
Your
Right.
Peebo.
So Weasel, there was one photo which we went on holiday.
Oh yeah,
and
that was it.
there was a photo where I think it was a selfie, but Sophie kind of stuck her head in and it kind of came up like a meerkat. And so she got the nickname Weasel from that. And it's kind of stuck. So Weasel's one of them. What do you call me?
Your Peebo, because
You don't really call me that very often though.
I call you Weeblies because it got short. So Peebo and Weeblies came from my niece when she was a baby. She was obsessed with Beauty and the Beast, and the theme tune was sung by Peebo Bryson and Regina Williams. And actually, my nickname was Regina too for a while. And I walked in one day to him just like bobbing around the kitchen singing the theme tune from
Not
Beauty
true.
and the Beast.
Not
It was
true.
so cute. So from that day
Objection,
forward,
Your Honour, not true.
yeah, it was cute because he's got a terrible voice. So no, he doesn't actually. He's got a good voice.
I do have a terrible voice. It's not great. Singing is not my forte. I think I could be in a boy band, but be the one that's kind of in the background, not really dancing, just shuffling around, not singing. I could be like the Jason Orange of a boy band.
Yeah, he doesn't like dancing.
I'm not good at dancing. I'm not good at singing.
Which is why when he does dance, when we go to weddings and stuff, I always really appreciate it because I know he hates it, and I love to dance.
I take one for the team. If you lubricate me up with enough alcohol and carbohydrate, I can dance for a few hours, maximum.
Okay, next question comes from Sonny Dang. He asks, where did you get your dog? And how did you come up with a name for the dog?
First of all, the name. I'm a huge fan of The Simpsons, so it was either going to be Cashew, Cashew or Maggie.
It was Cashew or Honey, wasn't
Honey,
it?
that was it. Yeah.
Because we knew she was like honey cashew colour, and we thought those were quite cute names.
Yeah, Honey would have been cute because she is a honey. But yeah, so Maggie. I love Simpsons. Maggie Simpson. It's my favourite character, so one of my favourite, actually Homer's my favourite, but yeah, so that's where Maggie came from. And we got her from farmers in
Norfolk?
Yeah, Norfolk actually.
And she is a cockapoo, but she's a out and out mongrel. So her dad was a cross between a miniature poodle and a spaniel. So her dad is a miniature cockapoo and her mum was a straight spaniel. So she is a 3/4 spaniel, 1/4 miniature poodle, and that's what she is. So she's kind of like a miniature spaniel poodle.
What's your morning routine like, and what sets you up for the day ahead?
Before I answer that question, check out the Olympic Park right here. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Every time I drive past this part of London, I'm always a bit blown away and I get a little bit nostalgic about how good the Olympic Games were here in 2012. So
Yeah.
go GB. Anyway, Alvaro, so my morning routine is pretty similar every morning. I'm very much a morning person. I get to about 9 o'clock in the evening and I'm ready for bed, but I do wake up around 6:30 most mornings. And I go downstairs, I let the dog out, I feed the dog, I put the coffee machine on, I put the kettle on, I make Lucas's bottle, I make Sophie's coffee, I usually grab a biscuit for her, and then I take the coffee up, put it on the side of the bed, and then go up and feed little man, change little man, and then bring him down. And by that time Sophie would have started to wake up, had her coffee, and I drop the little boy on the bed, I go down, have my breakfast, throw all my stuff together and jump on my bike and cycle to work. And that is kind of how I start every morning.
I wake up slowly with a cup of coffee.
Soph's isn't a morning person.
I'm not a morning person, so we made a deal that I would deal with Lucas at night, no matter what, and Sean would bring me my coffee in the morning. No, I don't have a massive routine. One thing I do like to do when I wake up is I read The Secret ages ago, and one of the things that really stuck with me was being grateful for all the things in your life. And so when I wake up, I kind of go through, list a bunch of things that I'm grateful for. It can be anything, like our house, my husband, my baby, my family, my hair looking good, my coffee. You know?
Coffee.
No, seriously, whatever. And by the time you get to sort of 5 or 6 things that you've listed, you feel amazing, and it works every time. So that's kind of my thing. But that's the only thing I do, really, because then once I'm up,
you're not really a creature of routine, are you?
No, I hate routine.
You're a
hate routine. I don't know how we work, actually, because he's Mr. OCD routine, like doesn't like anything out of place, and I'm like, if every day was different, I'd be a happy bird. So yeah, we kind of rub off on each other in a good way, I think. Sometimes, not always.
Next question from Lulabelle is, how did having your beautiful little boy change your perspectives towards life and work? Also, what would be your best advice for creating a job/life you enjoy?
Lulabelle. Great name. How did having a little boy change your perspective? Well, for any of you guys that are parents, and maybe for some of you that aren't, having a kid is a bit of a game changer all round, just because whereas when you don't have a kid, you know, your time is kind of your own, whereas when you've got a kid, they become the most important thing in your life, and kind of all the time that you used to have just to chill by yourself and kind of do all that sort of stuff, now you give to them. And that sounds bad, but it's probably the most rewarding and best thing in the world. I think something inside you switches and you fall head over heels in love with something that is completely dependent on you, and it's pretty cool. It's really magical. What do you think?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose it changes more for you, doesn't it? It's changed more for you.
I think it changes, like for the woman. Depends if you're a stay-at-home mom or, you know. But even in the beginning, anyway, because you're feeding and stuff. If you choose to feed, it changed my life 100%. And it took me a good few months, I'd say, to really get my head around it, because literally you go from one day to the next, not even that, like an hour to the next, boom, he's here, and then that's it, and your life is no longer your own. But I have to say, like, I wouldn't be without him. I couldn't be without him. Like, I used to read stuff when people wrote about, oh, you know, having a child, like, it's changed my life, it's given me meaning and all this sort of stuff. And I was like, what? You know, I have meaning, I have family, you know, I've got a job and I enjoy my life. But having Lucas in it has just added, like, a big old massive ton of sparkle on top. And like, it's crazy because you think, oh, I could really do with some me time again, and then I get about an hour of me time and I'm like, I miss him, I want him back again.
I think that's what a lot of people don't really realise. Yeah, it's a lot of work, and being a parent is hard, but it's so much fun.
Yeah.
And you've never laughed as much as when you've got a kid, and I think it actually brings you closer as parents as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say that actually.
Like you definitely learn how to work more as a team. You know, you have a newfound respect and a sort of a deeper love for each other. So I think that's one of the things that comes out of having a kid, and how it kind of changes your perspective on life. There was a second part to the question. What was the second part of the question? It's about life balance.
Yeah.
Work. Okay.
So, what would be your best advice for creating a job or life you enjoy?
Ooh.
It's quite deep.
Yeah. So, if I was going to give some advice about creating a job or a life that you enjoy, it would literally be, you know, do something every day that makes you happy. And that sounds really cheesy, but it really doesn't have to be, because sure, we all need money to live and blah blah blah, but at the end of the day, if you're not happy, if you don't wake up every day and you haven't got like a spring in your step, you know, what the hell are you doing it for? So my advice would be, find something that you love, and that might be harder than it sounds, but find something that you love, find something that you enjoy, and then just try and do it as much as possible. And it might be one of those things where you start off doing your normal job and then just doing what you love as a hobby, and then the more you do the hobby, maybe you get better at it, maybe eventually it can become a job. And if it's something like fitness, there is so many opportunities in the fitness space, whether it's through YouTube, whether it's through working for a sports brand, whether it's personal training, whether it's working in a health club. There are so many opportunities that you could do to try and create that job and that environment that you love. That, you know, I think that's probably one of the best things about the fitness industry, is that it's one of those areas where so many people are so passionate, but there's also so many opportunities out there to do and get involved in it. So what do you think, Sophs?
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, I think there are two different types of people that work to live and people that live to work. And I feel it's hard for me to answer because I feel incredibly lucky that I'm able to, like, I never thought I would want to be a stay-at-home mum with Lucas, because I enjoyed what I did before, and I'm lucky enough that Sean works hard enough that I can do that, and I really love the fact that I can be there with him and still do the things that I like to do, like see clients here and there, but he's my number one priority. But I would completely agree with Sean in that, you know, when you find something you really love, you know, like I've had jobs before where I just used to wake up and I just feel really depressed going into work, and you know, and for me that was kind of like a no-brainer. This isn't working for me. Okay, what do I like doing? How can I make this work for me? And I think having a supportive partner as well is incredibly important, because you're not fighting against anything then, and you're working together to help support each other. And I think that's probably key too, really.
I think it's also, I think one of the things is having the balls to do it.
Yeah.
Like, so many people procrastinate, and I was even talking to a really good friend of mine yesterday, and he's got, you know, we've been talking about him doing, you know, stopping his job as a PT and doing some more sort of fitness influencer based stuff, and, you know, spending more time doing that because that's what he really enjoys. But obviously he's dependent on the money that he gets from personal training to pay his mortgage and all that sort of stuff. And it's just about having the balls to take that leap and just do what you love to do full time. And, you know, if it's, you know, giving up being a PT to focus on YouTube and social media, if it's, you know, quitting your job in Tesco's to go and, you know, work in a restaurant because you love food, whatever it is, it's about having the sort of the kahunas to get out there and actually make the change that's going to make you happy. So we've just hit traffic. Yikes, not good. But we've had so many great questions that I was getting this sign from CJ telling me to wrap it up. So we've actually got so many more questions still to go. So we're going to draw a line under this video, and we're actually going to roll this car journey into 2 videos. So we've got another 25 minutes until we get to the event. So that's it for video 1, Meet the Staffords Q&A, and stay tuned for video 2. It's coming up in a couple of minutes.